Tonight on DC News Now, a Supreme Court battle between some Maryland parents and Montgomery County schools.
Very young children, starting at the age of 3 up through elementary school, are being read books about some of these sensitive topics.
A case of religious freedoms versus public education, with some families who want to pull their kids out of certain classes.
Hey friends, we're looking at a great midweek with temperatures still above average. More in that forecast. It's coming up.
A missing woman found dead days later in a DC dumpster, less than a mile away from her home, while police believe it was not random.
An attempt to eliminate a local police department facing major pushback. Why one person voting for it is now under investigation.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for DC News Now at 9. I'm Susan Tran.
And I'm Tosin Fakile. Chris Flanagan has the night off.
All right, let's take a live look outside right now at the Washington Monument. A clear Tuesday night for us. Warm, though. Did you enjoy the warmth?
I loved it. I just don't want it to get any warmer.
Oh, Chief Meteorologist Janessa Webb here to answer those questions.
Hey, yeah, super warm, feeling summer-like. We're still in April, so I feel you. You kind of want...
Not ready?
Yeah, in that kind of middle ground here. And so really we're going to remain above average for the rest of the week, folks. This is going to feel like we're in June instead of the middle of April. So spring off to a pretty wonderful start here across the region. 72 at the 9 o'clock hour. Winds coming out of the north, 5 to about 10 miles per hour. We don't have any major storm systems that are going to impact our region. You can see most of our western communities into the upper 60s, lower 70s, 75 for Waldorf, under mostly cloudy skies. And so winds, they're minimal right now. Tomorrow is looking like a pretty lovely day as we transition into midweek. At this point, all of the storm system and rain that we're dealing with is in Richmond and parts of North Carolina, and then we're just kind of blanketed by the cloud coverage. You can see overnight it's going to be a pretty mild one, back into the middle 50s in most locations. Tomorrow, a little bit of high pressure moving back in. That will give way to sunshine. More of that coming up.
Vanessa, thank you. Religious freedom concerns in Maryland. This is a case that involves Montgomery County schools. It has reached the Supreme Court.
And parents want to be able to opt their kids out of lessons using books with LGBTQ characters. DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg live at the Supreme Court tonight.
Now, Daniel, this pits public education versus religious freedoms, and you spoke with a Georgetown law professor. What is she saying about this case?
Well, Susan and Tosin, she believes that after hearing all these arguments that the court will almost certainly side with the parents who want that opt-out option. That's because the conservative majority asked certain questions and made certain statements today to that effect. But outside the court, there were plenty of people on both sides of the issue who showed up. At the core of the issue are 5 books with LGBTQ characters currently in the curriculum for elementary schools in Montgomery County. Some parents want to opt their kids out of the lessons for religious reasons.
Respect our choices as parents. And this is not about hate or discrimination. We just want to parent the way we want to parent.
During oral arguments Tuesday, the conservative justices seemed to side with the parents wanting an opt-out option.
You're not seeking to prohibit instruction in the classroom. You're just seeking not to be forced to participate in that instruction.
That's correct.
While liberal justices questioned where the line should be drawn, Alan Schoenfeld arguing for MCPS.
Every day in public elementary school classrooms across the country, children are taught ideas that conflict with their family's religious beliefs. But learning about them is not a legally cognizable burden on free exercise.
Georgetown law professor Stephanie Barclay says after listening to arguments, the court is likely to rule in favor of religious freedom concerns.
There's already precedent on the books that makes clear that the court is concerned about parents being forced to put children in a situation that will violate the religious beliefs of the parents and the children. And the Supreme Court could just affirm that precedent in order to rule for the parents in this case.
The court is expected to make a ruling in June. We're live at the Supreme Court. Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
Now to a gruesome discovery in the district. Investigators say the body of a missing woman was found in a dumpster there in Northeast.
And police say Donnella Bryan was reported missing Thursday. She was last seen around noon on N Street in Noma. Police reports say the remains of the 62-year-old were found on Saturday by Benning and 15th Street in Northeast, about a mile away from where she lived at Press House Apartments. Bryan's remains were found in a plastic bin in a dumpster. Her death ruled a homicide by blunt force trauma and asphyxiation. But police say they are confident this homicide was not a random act. We'll have more on the investigation and the shock from neighbors. That's ahead in our next half hour. And tonight, dozens of community members sounding off, calling out a Loudoun County town for its effort to get rid of its police department. Purcellville Town Council voted earlier this month to move forward with a plan to eliminate the police department. Tonight, a final vote is expected, but people who live in that area are angry. Dozens of them blasting the proposal. They say the plan has not been discussed with the county sheriff, whose department will take over patrolling the area. And any cost savings, they say, is not worth the change to their small town.
Why would you risk the lives when it's known that officers from Leesburg or somewhere else cannot arrive fast enough? Response time 10 to 15 minutes instead of 6? Why would you remove the peace of mind that allows us to walk our streets at night and only worry about a chicken? Seriously, we're in Purcellville.
And coming up at 10, we will have the results of the vote, plus why the vice mayor who pushed for the plan is under criminal investigation.
We head back to the district now, and a special police officer facing charges accused of pointing a gun at a grocery store employee in Northwest. Investigators saying that Rayford Bush is a security guard there at the Safeway on Wisconsin Avenue. And they say on Saturday he got into an argument with the worker, pulled out a gun as she was trying to walk away. Investigators say he continued to threaten her several times, but no one was physically hurt. Staying in the district now, and police are investigating a stabbing that happened earlier this morning, hurting a man. Investigators say that a man was found on North Capitol Street in Northwest. This was just after 4:30 this morning. He was taken to the hospital, and investigators say they're searching for 2 suspects. If you have any information, police want to hear from you.
DC News Now is your local election headquarters. A shakeup in Virginia's lieutenant governor race. Former radio host John Reed is now the sole Republican nominee. Fairfax County Supervisor Pat Harity dropped out yesterday. But a local political science professor says while Harity could have been the favorite to win the Republican nomination in June, Republicans' chances of winning in November have not changed. The professor adds voters decide which gubernatorial candidate gets their vote and will likely vote for the lieutenant governor candidate of the same party, regardless of who it is.
We're going to script an upset for Winsome Sears. One thing I would do is try to line up her team early, right? Make sure that she and the lieutenant governor candidate, who's now John Reed, the attorney general candidate, who is Jason Miyares, that the 3 of them are sort of united and aligned and ready to take on Democrats, not each other, early in the process.
And speaking of Democrats, the Democratic primary for lieutenant governor has 6 nominees. That primary election is June 17th.
WMATA says it is going fully automated, and that way it will get riders to their destinations faster and safely. And its plan is to match other transportation systems from all around the world. The process will happen in several phases. It will start with a modernization of communication-based controls that run the trains. Then the rail cars will be updated. WMATA saying that these are the drawings of the screen doors. Take a look right here. They're going to be added to the station platforms. They're going to help prevent people from falling onto the tracks, and will line up with the doors there on the trains. The agency also has been studying ways to either add a new line or change current rail routes. In the new report, WMATA says a blue loop would be most effective here. It would create new stations, including in Georgetown, West End at Bolling Air Force Base, Oxon Hill, and National Harbor. It would form this blue line loop. The yellow line would take over the route to Franconia Springfield Station.
Maryland Transportation Authority sharing plans to improve the Bay Bridge. It is in response to last month's federal recommendations. The NTSB report puts 68 bridges at risk of collapse in its report and includes the Bay Bridge. Officials say they've invested more than $175 million on the Bay Bridge safety and security infrastructure. And this summer, they'll develop short and long-term plans to reduce collision risks.